Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 2nd and 3rd of May 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs, so watch this video till last. I'm requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe our channel if you're new on this platform. And guys, you can download our application name is Careers Cloud. You can download from the description box link. After downloading, you can log in with your email ID, and after login you can click on this crack current affair section and you can subscribe for 1 year as well as for 2 year. It means you can subscribe for 12 months as well as for 24 months. The price of these subscriptions are very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprise. But before proceeding, I just want to tell you that what we are providing under this subscription. We are providing daily wise current affairs. In the daily current affairs section, we are providing three type of the current affairs. One is related to the detailed current affair of particular day. Second is the question and answer format of the current affair of particular day. And third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application. Next is the weekly section. In the weekly section, you will again get the three sections. One is related to the detailed current affair of particular week. Second is question and answer format of current affair of particular week. And third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application and check that how much current affair you can retain for long time period. Next is the monthly section, and it is again most important section because we are providing various type of the PDFs to enhance your performance. Like first is the study PDF. It means all the detailed and theoretical current affair will be provided under this PDF. Next, to revise these theoretical current affair, we are providing question and answer PDF, so that after reading from the study PDF, you can revise the current affair through this question and answer PDF. Next is the best 100 current affair. It means top 100 current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer, so that you can revise again and again before your exam. Last is the pocket PDF, which we are providing under the monthly section, that you can revise the current affair in one-liner or two-liner form, like from the pocket PDF before your exam, and it is very important to revise very quickly. So guys, this is daily, weekly and the monthly section. We are also providing the smart PDFs, which are also known as the topic wise PDF. It means if your one topic is a particular week, or you can say if you just want to revise one topic, then you have to pick one PDF from out of these 20 type of the PDFs, because we are covering every important topic under these 20 type of the PDFs, like apps and web portals, important days, books and authors, national current affair, international current affair. So all these current affairs are covered according to topic wise, and we are providing every topic PDF. So this will definitely enhance your performance. Next, if you are a banking aspirant, then we are providing banking awareness section, and we are providing three things under this section. One is detailed current affair only related to banking and economy, question and answer only related to banking and economy, and one is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application and you can test that how much economy or banking current affair you have to revise again and again. Next is the exam PDF. This is again very important before your exam. Suppose if your exam is tomorrow, if you want to just revise all the current affair of 2021, then you have to pick only one PDF, that is exam PDF, because we are compiling every month current affair under this PDF. Next is special current affair. Special current affair stands for budget and economic survey. We are providing factual data or the important facts related to budget and economic survey, and also we are providing expected question and answer which examiner can ask. Next is the state current affair. If you are preparing for the government, any type of the government exam, you are definitely preparing for your state government exam, because state vacancies are also important and students are preferring the state vacancies. So that's why we are covering every state and the union territory, and it will definitely enhance your state current affairs and your state performance will be improved. So guys, there is no different subscription for all these topics. There is only one subscription. You have to just download our application, that is Careers Cloud. You have to log in with your email ID, and you have to click on this crack current affair section, and after click on this crack current affair section, you have to subscribe for 1 year as well as 2 year. The price of this subscription is very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprise, and on that minimal price we are providing 10% extra discount. If you use this code ASH10, then you will get 10% extra discount. And if you have any query, then you can reach us on this email ID. Like you can email on this email ID, support@affairscloud.com. Your query will be resolved. You can call on this number if your query is not resolved by the email, or you can comment in any video. I am personally entertaining all the comments, and I am personally answering all the queries, so you can also comment in any video. So guys, let's start today's current affair, that is 2 and 3 May 2021. But I am again requesting you all the students that you have to like this video. We want 700 plus likes. You have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and you have to share this video as maximum as possible. So let's begin today's session with the most important question section, and here is our first question. So first question is, Indian Army inaugurated its first green solar energy harnessing plant in which state? So two or three things are very important under this question, that it is the first green solar energy harnessing plant and it belongs to Indian Army, and it is basically inaugurated in which state? So answer of this question is B. It means answer of this question is Sikkim. Exact area is North Sikkim. So you have to remember, exact area is North Sikkim, and the project has been completed in collaboration with IIT Bombay. So you have to just remember that IIT Bombay is involved under this project because this project has been completed in collaboration with IIT Bombay, and the project will benefit troops in forward areas and will be environment friendly. This is very important thing because Indian Army decided to electrify the area of Siachen Glacier. Now this is the world highest battlefield, and it is with the clean solar energy and reduced carbon footprint. So by default it will definitely reduce the carbon footprint. So you can see the image. Indian Army inaugurated first solar energy harnessing plant, and its total capacity is 56 kilovolt ampere, and it is established in North Sikkim area. So you can also see this, Indian Army inaugurated first green solar energy harnessing plant of 56 kilovolt ampere in North Sikkim, and the project has been completed in the collaboration of IIT Bombay. You have to remember this, the name of the institute, that is very important. And Indian Army decided to electrify the area of the Siachen Glacier, which is also the world highest battlefield, and they are electrifying this area with the clean solar energy and reduced carbon footprint. And you, I think every student know that 175 gigawatt we have to achieve by the year of 2022, and out of 175 gigawatt, you all know that 100 gigawatt should be from the solar energy, and 60 gigawatt should be from the wind energy, 10 gigawatt from the bioenergy, and 5 gigawatt from the small hydro projects. So you have to remember 175 gigawatt we have to achieve by the year of 2022. So by the year of 2030, then what is the capacity we have to install? That is 450 gigawatt. It means India also set a target to achieve 450 gigawatt renewable energy by the year of 2030. So you have to remember this. And at present, India has 93 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity which is installed. So remember, at present only 93 we have, but we have a target of 175 gigawatt by the year of 2022. So there is a one recent related news that an agreement was signed between the Rajasthan government and NTPC to establish, NTPC stands for National Thermal Power Corporation, to establish ultra mega renewable energy power park for illuminating India's border area with Pakistan and the Rajasthan. So it is just to illuminating, or you can say providing lightning to the border areas of Rajasthan, which is touching with the Pakistan. So guys, you have to remember about Indian Army, who is currently the Chief of Army Staff, that is General M.M. Narawane. General M.M. Narawane or General M.M. Narawane. So this is all. Now we can move to the next question, but you have to remember about Sikkim. So guys, who is the Chief Minister of Sikkim? Chief Minister is Prem Singh Tamang. Remember, Prem Singh Tamang is currently the Chief Minister of Sikkim. And who is the Governor? Governor is Ganga Prasad. Ganga Prasad is currently the Governor of Sikkim. And you have to remember about the national park, and very important national park is Kanchan Zedonga or Dzonga. So remember, I am writing here Dzonga. Kanchan Dzonga National Park. It is also the UNESCO World Heritage Site in Sikkim. So remember this. This is the most important thing about the Sikkim. You have to remember. There is one very famous bird sanctuary that is known as Keetam Bird Sanctuary in Sikkim. So you can also remember this. Now we can move to the next question. Who is appointed as the new chairman and managing director of BEML? BEML stands for Bharat Earth Movers Limited. And guys, you have to remember, because this company is very important for the defense sector, because this company is manufacturing so much light vehicles and also so many things for the defense sector, by which defense sector can become the Atmanirbhar, or you can say the self-reliant. So new chairman and the managing director of BEML. So answer of this question is Amit Banerjee. So note down, this is the most important thing you have to remember. Amit Banerjee is appointed currently as the director, or you can say the chairman and managing director of BEML, and he succeed DK Hota. He succeed which person? He succeed DK Hota, because examiner can ask that who was the former chairman and the managing director of BEML. That was DK Hota, because he was retired on 31st January 2021. He retired on 31st Jan 2021. It means from 1st Feb to current date, it was MV Rajashekhar. M.V. Rajasekhar, who has been holding the additional charge of chairman and managing director since the January of 2021. But now Amit Banerjee become the permanent chairman and managing director of this organization. But you can see here the two options, but I will discuss these options. But first of all, you have to see the image of Amit Banerjee, who is appointed as chairman and managing director of this organization. And you can also remember where is the headquarter of BEML. Headquarter is in Bengaluru, and BEML is basically a public undertaking, or you can say public sector unit, because under the BEML 54%, almost 54% shareholding lies with the Indian government. So that's why it is a public sector unit. Now we are moving to the two options which are left, that is C and D. So C option is Ligia Noronha. So you have to remember, because this is again very important question. We covered this question in the March. Like she is appointed as Assistant Secretary General and head of New York office of the United Nations Environment Program, because actual headquarter of United Nations Environment Program is in Nairobi, Kenya. But UNEP has a one office in the New York. So Assistant Secretary General and head of the New York office is Ligia Noronha. Next is Deepak Mishra. Again, very important name. Deepak Mishra is recently appointed as Director and Chief Executive of Indian Council for Research and International Economic Research, or you can say ICRIER. I am repeating again. He was appointed as Director and Chief Executive of Indian Council for Research on International Economic Relation. So Deepak Mishra you have to remember. Now we can move to the next question. Who is appointed? Again, there is appointment. Who is appointed as Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company Limited? This question is very confusing, because there are two appointments basically. One is the Managing Director and CEO of Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company. Second is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Kotak General Insurance Company. So it means one is KLI, second is KGI, that is Kotak General Insurance Company. So first we are talking about the KLI, that is Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company, and answer of this question is Mahesh Balasubramanian. So answer of this question is Mahesh Balasubramanian, and answer of this question is B. If the examiner is asking about the General Insurance Company, then answer of this question is Suresh Agarwal. So one answer is Mahesh, second answer is Suresh. So how you can remember? It means first comes life. So life is very important. So that's why here is Mahesh. Mahesh is big brother. So that's why life. And second are the general things. Then you have to go for the general insurance company. So it is Suresh. So you have to remember by this life, and it is Mahesh, and general insurance company it is Suresh. So remember, because there are only two appointments, so that's why it is confusing. So Mahesh Balasubramaniam appointed as the Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company MD and CEO, or you can say Chief Executive Officer. And guys, where is the headquarter of this Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company? Headquarter is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So you have to remember. And this person, Mahesh Balasubramaniam, he was the co-founder of ApnaLoan.com. So co-founder, ApnaLoan.com. So you can also remember this, that India's first and largest online loan marketplace for credit cards, unsecured loans, car loans, and the mortgages. And he joined the Kotak Mahindra in 2005. So you can remember this person, Mahesh Balasubramaniam. But again, there are two more important options. One is C, second is D. For C is G Muralidhar. G Muralidhar was the former managing director and CEO of this Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company. Next person is Siddharth Mohanty, and the most important appointment of January 2021, that he was appointed as MD of Life Insurance Company. MD of Life Insurance Company. So now all the things are covered. Let's move to next question. Boxing Federation of India has decided to conduct the 2021 Asian Elite Men and Women Boxing Championship in which country? Because recently we covered this question in March 2021, that this tournament was scheduled to be hosted by India. But now, due to COVID-19 cases, because so many cases are rising and situation is worst, so that's why this Asian Elite Men and Women Boxing Championship will be hosted by United Arab Emirates. And answer of this question is, guys, A option, that is UAE. Earlier it was scheduled in 2020, but due to pandemic, or you can say the COVID-19, or the rise of pandemic, it is basically cancelled, or you can say the postponed to 2021. Now it will be held. It will be held in United Arab Emirates, or the exact places Dubai. Exact places Dubai. So the tournament was scheduled to be held in Delhi Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium from 21 May to 31st May, but now it is rescheduled, and now it will happen on the 21st May to 1st of June. 1st of June, and two organizations will participate, or you can say organized. One is the Boxing Federation of India, and second is the United Arab Emirates Boxing Federation. So under the chairmanship, the Indian women team will be led by MC Maricom. MC Maricom, that is under the 51 kg category, and the men team is not yet announced, but it will be announced soon. So guys, you have to remember the answer. So you can see that is Asian Boxing Confederation decided the Asian Boxing Championship to be held in Dubai, and the tournament scheduled on the 21st of May, but date is not so much important. And under the championship, the Indian women team will be led by MC Maricom, and men team is not yet announced. There are two organizations which are important, because two organizations decided this, that it will be held in now United Arab Emirates. One is the Boxing Federation of India. This is very important organization. It was founded in 2016, and its headquarters is in Gurugram. So you have to remember, headquarters is in Gurugram, Haryana, or Gurgaon, Haryana. And president is Ajay Singh. We covered this question so many times. Ajay Singh is currently the president of Boxing Federation of India. And second is, guys, ASBC, that is Asian Boxing Confederation. Remember, Asian Boxing Confederation. So this organization, you have to only remember about the president. President is Anas, ANAS, Anas Altoaiba, ALOTAIBA. Alo Taiba. So you have to just read this. Otherwise, if you don't want to remember, don't remember this. Just read this. This is the president of Asian Boxing Confederation. But most important here is the Boxing Federation of India. Now we can move to next question. But you can also remember the options, like here is Qatar. Qatar is very important, guys, because 2022 FIFA Men World Cup will be hosted by Qatar. India, we already discussed. France is again very important, because 2020 Olympics will be hosted by France, or you can say the Paris. And 2028 is Los Angeles. Now we can move to next question. Who won bronze medal at 2021 St. Petersburg Governors Cup in Russia? And this cup is basically related to boxing. So guys, tell me which is the answer. And friends, answer of this question is B, Amit Phangal. So guys, remember of this question is Amit Phangal, or the Phangal. Indian boxer Amit Phangal won the bronze medal in 52 kg category. 52 kg category at the 2021 St. Petersburg Governor Cup in St. Petersburg, that is in Russia. He lost in the semi-finals against a Uzbekistan player, but you don't have to remember that he lost semi-finals against whom. Amit Phangal was only Indian medalist at the Governor Cup. This is the most important thing, that he is the only Indian medalist at the Governor's Cup. And apart from this, he was also won the gold medal at the Asian Games and the Asian Championship, because we discussed this question like in you can say in March 2021, that Amit Phangal, Ashish Kumar, you can see the name of Ashish Kumar, and Sanjeet, you can see again the D option, that is Sanjeet, won gold medal in the first Alexis Vestine International Tournament, which was hosted by France. So you have to remember the first Alexis Vestine International Tournament, which was hosted by France. The gold medal won by Amit Phangal, Ashish Kumar, and Sanjeet. And you can also see here the name of Manju Rani. Manju is the world's second best boxer in women ranking. Remember, in women ranking, Manju Rani is the world's second best boxer. And if you are talking about the men's ranking, then Amit Phangal secured top spot in the International Boxing Association World's Men Ranking 2020. So best boxer is Amit Phangal in the International Boxing Association men's ranking, and Manju Rani is on the second spot. So you have to remember all the information which I told you, and always remember about International Boxing Association, because all the tournament is organized by this organization, and it was established in 1946, headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland. Now you can also see this. It is in St. Petersburg and it is in Russia. And Amit Phangal is the only Indian medalist at the Governor Cup, and he also won the gold medal at the Asian Game and the Asian Championship. Especially you have to remember this Alexis Vestaine International Tournament, which was hosted by France, and 3 players won the gold medal: Amit Phangal, Ashish Kumar, and the Sanjeet. Now we can move to the next question. All the most important questions are now covered. We are moving to the very important questions, guys. You have to provide us 700 plus likes. You have to subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and if you want to share this video, that is very glad, because if you share, it means we can increase our reach, and you can press this bell button so that your notification can come on time. So now let's start with the very important question section. Here is our first question in the very important section. What is the name of operation which is launched by Indian Navy for shipment of oxygen filled cryogenic containers and associated medical equipment to India? So there is a one operation which is launched by Indian Navy. You have to remember, it is launched by Indian Navy, not by the Indian Army, or you can say the Indian Air Force. It is launched by Indian Navy for shipment of oxygen filled cryogenic containers, because due to COVID-19 oxygen demand is now increased and we are in crisis due to oxygen, due to shortage of oxygen, and associated medical equipment to India. It means this mission will deliver this oxygen filled containers and medical equipment, and it will be supplied from other countries to India, and name of this mission is Operation Setu 2. So guys, remember, answer of this question is C. You can also see this image that Indian Navy launched Operation Samundar Setu 2 for the shipment of oxygen filled containers to India. You can also see this. For this operation, Indian Navy developed 7 Indian naval ships. It means Indian Navy deployed 7 Indian naval ships, like INS Calcutta is there, INS Kochi, INS Talwar, INS Trikand, INS Jalasha, INS Aravat. So these type of the Indian naval ships are basically deployed. It is a part of ongoing national mission for meeting oxygen requirements in India, because due to COVID-19 oxygen demand is now increased. So that's why, to fulfill this demand, we have to import this oxygen from the other countries. And guys, remember about Operation Samundar Setu, that it was launched in May 2020 as a part of the Vande Bharat mission. And under this operation, Indian citizens were repatriated from Maldives, Sri Lanka and Iran. They were left stranded due to COVID-19, and the operation was undertaken by the Indian Navy in collaboration of the Ministry of External Affairs, Home Ministry, Health Ministry, and the other agencies of the central and the state government. So guys, you have to remember all these very important information. And you can also remember that in 2020, like we covered this question, that INHS, that is basically Indian Navy health ship that is known as Patanjali. INHS Patanjali became the first armed forces hospital to treat civilian COVID-19 patient. Remember this, INHS Patanjali, and it is the first armed forces hospital to treat civilians COVID-19 patients. So guys, you have to remember all this information, and remember always about Indian Navy. Chief of Naval Staff is Admiral Karambir Singh. But you can also remember the other options, because these missions are very, very important for Indian Navy, you can say Indian Army or Indian Air Force. First is the Operation Meghdut. This was very important. This was launched in 1984, and by this, Indian military captured the majority of the Siachen Glacier. So you have to remember that is Operation Meghdut. Next is Operation Vijay. This is again very important, and it was launched in 1999. And in this operation is just to push back the infiltrators from the Kargil sector in 1999 Kargil war. So it is just to push the infiltrators from the Kargil war. Next is Operation Sahyog. That is again very important, because these missions are very, very important. It was launched in 2018 due to Kerala floods. It means it is launched in Kerala. Indian Army launched this operation to rescue people in the flood hit area. Especially Indian Army has deployed its men and machinery into the disaster relief and rescue operations, like in the area of the Wayanad, Idukki, Kozhikode and the Kannur, and due to the floods in the Kerala. So Operation Sahyog in Kerala, Operation Vijay in the Kargil war, Meghdut in the Siachen Glacier. So you have to remember all the operations. Now we can move to next question. Which bank launched Immune India deposit scheme to boost COVID-19 Vex drive? So this is very important, and this is a new kind of the initiative, and you can say the new type of the idea which is launched by the bank to increase the vaccination in India. And this bank launched Immune India deposit scheme to boost COVID-19 Vex drive. And guys, answer of this question is C, that is Central Bank of India. So you have to remember Central Bank of India launched this Immune India Deposit Scheme. It is a special deposit scheme to provide an additional interest rate of 0.25%, or you can say 25 basis points. 25 basis point in addition to the applicable card rate or the interest rate for the vaccinated people. It means if you are vaccinated, then if you are basically depositing some amount in the bank under the Immune India Deposit Scheme, then you will get more interest rate, and that more interest rate will be 0.25%. But only one condition is there, that you have to be vaccinated. And Immune India Deposit Scheme has a maturity of 1111 days. It means 1111 days. And the senior citizens also eligible for the extra interest rate as applicable. So this is a new kind of innovation by the Central Bank of India, but you have to remember about Central Bank of India. This bank was established in 1911. Its managing director and chief executive officer is, we recently discussed that, recently appointed Matam Venkata Rao. Remember Matam Venkata Rao. Headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and tagline. Two taglines you have to remember. Central to you since 1911. That is very simple because it was established in 1911. Second, you have to remember, build a better life around us. Build a better life around us. And guys, you can also remember about one thing about Central Bank of India. It is the first Indian commercial bank which was fully owned and managed by Indians. It is first Indian commercial bank which was fully owned and managed by Indians. So this is the thing related to Central Bank of India. So very simple scheme, that is Immune India Deposit Scheme. It is asked in the banking exam, so you have to remember. Next is, which company in partnership with Gemini and WebBank launched a first of its kind cryptocurrency rewards credit card? You can also remember, guys, this Gemini company, and this Gemini is basically a cryptocurrency exchange. So that's why MasterCard in partnership with cryptocurrency exchange Gemini and the WebBank, which is a leader in the digital lending, and also the bank which is issuing the credit card, to launch its first of its kind cryptocurrency rewards credit card. The most unique feature of this card is crypto rewards on purchases. It means if you purchase something, then you will get rewards in the form of the cryptocurrencies, and these are the real-time rewards, and there is no annual fees for joining this. And there is a security first design system. It means there is no third-party security system required. And fourth one is the near instant access. It means it is a contactless payment card also. So guys, this is very unique because if you purchase something, then you will get some type of the cryptocurrency rewards. And according to this bank, you can also see this is a Gemini, and this card will be issued by the WebBank, which is also a, you can say, the one of the leader in the digital banking system, and this is powered by the MasterCard. So you have to remember these things. And you can also see this, using this card, client will earn up to almost 3% in the cryptocurrency depending on their purchase, and the rewards will be automatically deposited in the cardholder Gemini account in real time. There will be no annual fees for the card, and there will be 24/7 live customer support. This is a small metal card basically, and with only the cardholder name on it. The 16-digit unique card number can be accessed in the Gemini web and mobile application. Required two-factor authentication since it is not present in the card. So guys, it means Gemini cryptocurrency just want to integrate with the customers who are basically assessing the credit card, and also want to increase their cryptocurrency share. So this is the main purpose of this Gemini. And Gemini cryptocurrency exchange is basically belongs to United States of America. And second here is MasterCard. MasterCard executive chairman is Ajay Banga, but chief executive officer is Michelle Maybach. Remember, Michelle Maybach. This question can be asked, so it is important. Headquarters is in United States, New York. Now we can move to next question. Padma awardee Pandit Debu Chaudhary passed away. He was associated with which field? So most important thing under this question, the name Debu Chaudhary, and by the Pandit you can guess the profession. The profession is sitar maestro. So answer of this question is C. And guys, he was very famous sitar vadak, or you can say sitar maestro, and he died due to COVID-19. And Pandit Debu Chaudhary was awarded with Padam Bhushan, also the Padam Bhushan, in 1992 for his contribution to arts. He also won the Padam Shri, and Sangeet Natak Academy Award. He was also a teacher and writer who penned 6 books. Apart from being an artist, he was a disciple of Mushtaq Ali Khan, which was again very famous personality. So you have to just remember the name Debu Chaudhary, Pandit Debu Chaudhary, and he was associated with sitar. So he is a sitar, or he was sitar maestro. So now you can see the picture of Pandit Debu Chaudhary ji, and he died due to COVID-19 at the age of 85. Now moving to next question. The International Workers' Day is annually observed across the globe on which day? Very simple question. Every student know this answer, because the International Worker Day is also known as the International Labor Day. International Labor Day, and it is annually observed on the 1st of May. It means in 2021 it is also observed on 1st of May 2021, and it is just to recognize the achievement of the workers and to create awareness about the exploitation of workers. And the International Labor Day is also known as International Workers' Day and also the May Day. So examiner can confuse with this day. May Day is also same as the International Worker Day or the International Labor Day. So the day is observed in many countries like India, Cuba, China, and the day is first celebrated in which year? It is first celebrated in 1890. So you can also see this. 1st May is known as the Workers' Day of 2021, and the first Labor Day in India was observed in Chennai by the Labour Kisan Party of Hindustan in 1923, but all over world level it was firstly observed in 1890. So on May 1st was chosen because to commemorate the 1886 Haymarket riots in Chicago, because at that time working hours were very long, like 15 hours, 16 hours. So the workers just want to reduce the working hours, so that's why there were riots. And before 1889 the workers were made to work more than 15 hours a day, so that's why they just want to reduce the hours, and there is a movement of worker, that's why it is known as the Workers' Day. The international demonstration became an annual event in 1890, and the 1st May of every year is celebrated as the International Labor Day. So you have to remember this. And guys, if we are talking about the International Labor Day, then we are definitely talking about International Labor Organization. It was established after World War I in 1919. It means 102 years ago this organization was created. That is a huge thing. And one important thing, its headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, and its head is or you can say the Director General is Guy Ryder. So these 3 or 4 things you have to remember, and you can also remember the member countries of ILO. 187 countries are currently member of International Labor Organization. So now we can move to the next question. What is the name of the quick credit delivery scheme which is started by SIDBI recently to help micro, small and medium enterprises in COVID-19? It means SIDBI will provide some amount of the money to small, micro or medium enterprises so that they can recover from the COVID-19 stress. And these 2 type of the schemes which are started by the SIDBI is known as Arog and Shwas. It means answer of this question is both B and C. So D is the answer. So you can also see this. SIDBI launched Shwas and Arog for COVID-19 preparedness. You can also remember the abbreviation of this Shwas and the Arog. Shwas basically stands for SIDBI Assistance to Healthcare Sector in War Against Second Wave of COVID-19, because currently there is second wave in the COVID-19 area. And guys, you can also remember about Arog. Arog is the SIDBI Assistance to MSMEs for recovery and organic growth or economic growth during COVID-19 pandemic. You can see both here. Shwas is basically known as healthcare SIDBI Assistance to Healthcare Sector in War Against the Second Wave of COVID-19, and the scheme will fund MSMEs who are engaged in manufacturing of oxygen cylinders, oxygenators, oxygen concentrators, liquid oxygen, or providing services in the transportation, storage, refilling to supply of these items. It means all the things which are related to oxygen is basically comes under the Shwas, because Shwas stands for the breathe. So by oxygen you can take breathe. So that's why this is only for the oxygen equipments or the oxygen cylinders. Next is Arog. Arog is again SIDBI assistance to the MSME for recovery and organic growth during the COVID-19 pandemic. It is to fund for the MSME engaged in the manufacturing of the pulse oximeters, permitted drugs, ventilator and the personal protective equipments, or you can say the PPE kits. It means it is just to provide security to the COVID-19 patients or the someone who is basically carrying the COVID-19 patient. Then that's why this word is used, that is Arog. So now question arises that what SIDBI will do. Both the schemes will provide the MSME unit with 100% funding up to amount of rupees 2 crore, which will be funded by SIDBI at an attractive interest rate of 4.50 to 6% within 48 hours. This is a very good scheme by the SIDBI, but this is not only SIDBI, because the schemes are devised under the guidance of the Government of India, which facilitate funding for the production and services related to the oxygen, cylinders, oximeter or the essential drugs. But MSMEs can use this fund to enhance the capacity of these oxygen cylinder and the permitted drugs, which can be used during the time period of second wave of COVID-19. So guys, remember Shwas and Rog. But you can't forget this SAFE scheme. This is also launched by SIDBI, guys. This is also launched by SIDBI in March 2020, when COVID-19 was started and the first wave was going on. SIDBI had launched similar kind of the fund scheme called SAFE. SAFE stands for SIDBI Assistance to Facilitate Emergency Response Against COVID-19 to all MSMEs who are engaged in manufacturing any product which is related to fight COVID-19. But it is during the first wave of COVID-19. It means I am talking about 1 year before, like in March 2020. Any type of the equipment like hand sanitizer, mask, bodysuit, PPE kit, ventilator, testing lab, anything. So the fund will be provided by the SIDBI. And even according to the data, because currently we have data of financial year 21, more than 400 MSMEs, or you can say the micro, small and medium enterprises units, have sanctioned financial assistance under this SAFE scheme. And it cost almost 178 crore rupees to the government. So, or you can say the SIDBI. So these are the things you have to remember. What is for SAFE, what is the purpose of Rog, what is the purpose of Shwas, and what is the loan amount, that is 2 crore rupees or 100%, whichever is maximum. And you can also remember about SIDBI. SIDBI was established in 1990 and headquarters is in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. This is important. And who is the chairman and managing director? Chairman and managing director is Siva Subramanian. Remember, Siva Subramanian. And full name is, I think, Siva Subramaniam Ramanan, but I am not sure that last name is Ramanan, but I think because it utters from my mouth instantly, that's why Siva Subramaniam Ramanan. So you can remember this. Now we can move to the next question. Which country has approved the proposed sale of 6 Poseidon 8i, or you can say P8i, petrol aircraft and other equipment to India? You have to just remember that Poseidon 8i belongs to which country? It belongs to United States of America. And you can also remember that it is being procured by the Indian government, but only for the use of Indian Navy. Only for the use of Indian Navy. And in 2019, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh ji also approved this procurement of Poseidon 8i aircraft and the other equipment, which will come from the United States of America. And there is a company in the American aerospace sector, that is Boeing. I think you learned this name, Boeing. This will build this Poseidon 8i. So you can see this Poseidon 8i, and it is only for the Indian Navy. And USA will send this 6 Poseidon 8i to India. And there is a very whooping deal between India and the United States of America. It is almost 18,000 crore rupees. 18,000 crore rupees. You can see here. And it is for the Indian Navy, and it is prepared by or manufactured by Boeing. And it is capable of high speeds, almost up to 789 km per hour. That is a full speed, and has a high endurance of about 10 hours. It means it can continuously fly for 10 hours. It means it can be used for long range anti-submarine warfare, anti-surface warfare, intelligence, surveillance and surveillance in support of the broad areas. So remember about this. So you have to just remember of the Poseidon, and you have to remember about the USA, and the company name is Boeing. Now we can move to the next question, but it is from picture that National Award winning filmmaker KV Anand passed away at the age of 54. And he was also died due to COVID-19. So many people are dying due to COVID-19. That is a very sad news. And he was very famous Tamil director and National Film Award winning cinematographer. He was cinematographer, and he died due to COVID-19 at a very small age, like 54. And guys, he was born in the Madras state. It means he belongs to Tamil Nadu. And KV Anand started his career as a photojournalist, but he later joined an assistance of the award-winning cinematographer PC Sareen. Remember PC Shriram, not Sareen, it is Shriram. PC Shriram. And he was founding member of Indian Society of the Cinematographer. You have to remember this. And he also won the National Film Award for the best cinematography. So guys, remember these things. These are very, very important for you. Now we can move to the next section. It is important question section. You have to provide us 700 plus likes. You have to subscribe this channel, and you have to share this video as maximum as possible in your WhatsApp groups, on your Telegram groups. You have to share this video. Now here is first question in the important section. SEBI has mandated key employees of asset management companies to pay how much of their salary in the units of mutual fund schemes. So it is mandated only for the key employees. It means the you can say the higher position employees, so that they can invest some amount under the asset management companies under the mutual fund schemes. And answer of this question is 20%. So this is just a very basic question. You have to remember as in the slide, and the question answer is 20%. And remember, these regulations will be applicable from 1st of July 2021, and they are only for the asset management companies, not for the agents, banks, or the insurance companies. So it means the compensations in units has to be paid in proportional to the asset under management of the schemes in which the key employee has a role or oversight. So you have to just remember that asset management company key employees have to share 20% of their salary in the units of the mutual fund scheme. This is very basic scheme. But you can also remember about the SEBI. This unit was established in 1988, but it becomes statutory body in 1992 according to the Securities and Exchange Board of India Act of 1992. Its headquarters is in Mumbai, and its chairman is Ajay Tyagi. Now we can move to the next question. Next is, which company successfully manufactured and delivered its 100th electric locomotive to the Indian Railway? So guys, it was basically a 2015 deal between Indian government and this company for delivery of 800 fully electric high power double section locomotives of almost 12,000 horsepower, or you can say the 9 megawatt capacity. This is the 12,000 horsepower locomotive engine that are known as the double section engine, and these are the fully electric high powered engines, and the total number is 8,800. But this was signed in 215 or 2015, you can say, and this company is, guys, Alstom. So you have to remember, answer of this question is D, Alstom, and it is the largest foreign direct investment project in the Indian railway sector, because the total agreement amount is 25,000 crore according to 2015 deal, because now a euro is increased, so now amount is also increased, but it is according to the 2015 that 25,000 crore deal, and it is the largest foreign direct investment project in the Indian railway sector by this company that is known as Alstom. And with this, India became the 6th country to produce high horsepower locomotive indigenously, because as a part of this agreement, a joint venture, namely Medhapur, remember, or I think it is known as Madhepura Electric Locomotive Private Limited was established in which state? It was established in Bihar. So Madhepura plant was established in Bihar. It was basically to construct this locomotive engine, and it would act as the manufacturing plant for the electric locomotives for the Alstom, and in addition, 2 maintenance depot in the Uttar Pradesh, like in Saharanpur and the Maharashtra Nagpur, were set up. It is just for the maintenance. The agreement also includes the associated maintenance for the period of 11 years of all the 800 locomotive engines. So this company is Alstom, and its Indian headquarters is in Bengaluru, Karnataka. And remember about Indian Railway chairman and CEO is Sunit Sharma. He was appointed on the 1st Jan of 2021. Earlier it was VK Yadav. So you can also remember this. So you can see French firm Alstom deliver 100th electric locomotive to Indian Railway. So we covered all these things. You have to remember, India is now the 6th country to produce high horsepower locomotive indigenously, because a plant according to this joint venture was established in Bihar, that is known as Madhepura Electric Locomotive Private Limited. Now we can move into the one-liner important point. Here is the first point. Himachal Pradesh State Cooperative Bank was imposed rupees 40 lakh penalty by the RBI. So this penalty is basically imposed by RBI, and it is a Shimla based bank. Shimla is basically a capital of Himachal Pradesh, and guys, remember, it is just for the non-compliance with the certain regulatory directions issued by the National Bank for Agriculture and Development. Next, ex-Maruti Suzuki MD Jagdish Khattar passed away at the age of 79. So you have to just remember the name Jagdish Khattar. Jagdish Khattar. He entered into the Maruti in July 1993 as a director and became managing director in 1999. And you can say he retired from the Maruti as a MD in 2007 as 65 year of age, because of 65 year of age. So 1999 to 2007 he was the managing director of Maruti Suzuki. So you have to remember the name Jagdish Khattar. Next, football. Manchester City won the 2020-21 League Cup title for the 4th consecutive time. So guys, this is just a simple news. You have to just remember that Manchester City clinched a 4th consecutive 2021 League Cup, or it is also known as the EFL Cup or Carabao Cup football title, after beating Tottenham Hotspur at Wembley Stadium in the England. It was now it has now matched Liverpool's record of the 8 League Cup title. But you don't have to remember all this information. You have to remember Manchester City. Next, scientist discovers smallest black hole in the Milky Way galaxy named the Unicorn. So the most important thing here is the Unicorn, that is the Milky Way in the Milky Way galaxy's black hole. So remember the name of this smallest black hole, that is known as the Unicorn. Unicorn is basically a mythological, you can say, the animal, and the black hole has been nicknamed by this animal, that is known as the Unicorn. And it is the closest, or you can say the closest black hole to the solar system. The black hole is around 3 times the mass of the sun and is located around 1500 light years from the Earth. 1500 light years from the Earth. So you can also remember this. DCB Bank acquired stake worth rupees 10 crore from the GIFT Cities, and they acquired 10 crore worth stake in the 2 firms of the GIFT City. One is the India ICC and India INX. So what is the full form of this ICC? ICC stands for the International Clearing Corporation Limited, or you can say India International Clearing Corporation, and INX stands for the Gujarat International Financial Cities. It is a Gujarat International Finance Tech City body that is known as India's International Exchange Limited. So it means this bank acquired 10 crore stake in the India ICC and India INX. So it is not so much important, but you have to remember about this GIFT City. We already covered this question so many times. Next, CTRLS partners with Canara, HSBC, OBC Life Insurance to provide technological solutions. So guys, it is just to improve the you can say the adaptability over the technological infrastructure of the HSBC, Oriental and the Canara life insurance company. But you can also remember about this company, that Canara, HSBC and Oriental Bank of Commerce Life Insurance Company was established in year of 2008. It was established in 2008, but maximum share basically of this company goes to Canara Bank, because 51% owned by the Canara Bank. Remember, 26% is by HSBC and 23% is by the Punjab National Bank, and its headquarters is in Gurugram, and its MD and CEO is Anuj Mathur. So guys, now we are moving to the question of the day. Question of 1st of May 2021 was, which of the following institutions issue the special drawing rights? So it is a very important question, and almost all the students are right, because some of the students gave answer World Bank. World Bank is wrong. Answer of this question is International Monetary Fund. So you can say special drawing rights are supplementary foreign exchange reserve asset defined and maintained by International Monetary Fund. So SDRs are basically unit of accounts for the IMF and not a currency. And they represent a claim of currency held by the IMF member countries for which they may be exchanged. So India's share in the IMF according to SDR is 2.76%. It means India's total SDR holding is 2.76%. So you have to remember, and SDR is basically denoted as XDR. It is denoted as XDR. Now we are moving to the question of the day. Question of the day is Global Financial Development Report, which basically provides an update on the state of public and private credit reporting. This report is published by which of the following institution? So guys, you have to tell me this report is published by which organization, but you have to answer only in the comment box. So I'm waiting your answer, but you have to provide us 700 plus likes. When you are seeing this video, you have to press this like button. You have to subscribe the channel if you are first time watching this, and you have have to share this video as maximum as possible, and guys, you have to press this bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence definitely, because 90 to 95% current affairs are coming in your exams are covered by Affairs Cloud. This is the genuinity and this is the hard work of Affairs Cloud. And guys, don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy and don't go outside. Always be at home and always be happy. Thank you guys. Take care and bye bye.